direction. Often I'll notice that the individual me having angst and wanting things to be different. And I'll just, I'll say to myself, there it is. And I'll say, that doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't fulfill you.
Yeah.
There's no answer there. And when I say there's no answer there, is that still the individual me feeling that way about it? Or
it's a nice exercise. Because what you're doing is noticing the me getting on board. The I story, the I thought, the me in time. And you're recognizing or using some kind of tool. It seems like you have some sort of method, let's say, to bring your attention to sort of witnessing and also seeing the dead end quality of that line of thinking, and therefore you don't follow it. That's good. Because when you notice the I thought and the me feelings, more importantly, it's a little bit more tricky, but it's the same approach. You see these feelings and you say, well, these feelings are really managing them or taking them to be real, that something is really happening to me, takes me down the rabbit hole, round and round and round, and then you come back. Nothing has really happened, spin your wheels. Except that you had a bum ride because you were terrified. What's the point? So you don't, you remain as an impartial observer. And when you approach the experience as an impartial observer, in a way the experience, rather than taking you out, comes back in, comes to dissolve in the presence, comes to dissolve in your willingness to be, just to be. So it doesn't take you on a ride.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be concerned about, is this a separate self or no separate self? There is no separate self, really.
Yeah, I wasn't really concerned with it while it happens. It definitely separates me from the angst. And it's nothing I'm even really consciously doing. I just notice it more and more and more. Simple little things, too. I mean...
Whatever works.
But, yeah, it's just that our question came up because I was thinking about that's what happens. Yeah. But, yeah, I'm not really that concerned about it right now because it feels like it's like you said, a step this way instead of potentially going outwards.
Right. And once you're not drawn by the thoughts and the feelings through noticing that, okay, wait a minute, that's just the same spin, it's not going anywhere, then you can rest as the awareness. So, awareness doesn't care about kudos. Kudos, is that the expression? Kudos? Yeah. Kudos.
Taking credit.
Credit. Yeah. Doesn't care about kudos. So don't pile up in the kudos. I'm not saying that you are. Because awareness is kudo galore. It is.
Well, that's part of what I noticed. Wanting credit for things and stuff too.
That you do.
You see,
the body mind, the mind wants credit for things. Yeah, I'm noticing that. Yeah. Not going down that road.
Beautiful, because the credit for
it doesn't give me anything.
It feeds the separate self. It feeds the separate self. It feeds the separate self. Yes. So consciousness is already is wholeness.
Already, everything that my mind thinks it wants, consciousness already is. So it's a waste of time going out there looking for it.
Yes, right. So peace is tranquility, happiness, freedom is our natural state. We just move away from it in the mind. See? But the impression from the mind is that no, we're not moving away from it, we're actually seeking it, you see. But in fact, you know, as you're contemplating, the seeking is disturbing, is unhappy. And when you release that, you find yourself at the peace and the tranquility. So, the mind might come back and says, well, but that's not it. No, that's not it. That's not it. You know, that's where are the firecrackers?
Exactly.
Right, the fireworks.
Tranquility right now. Where is it? Even though you didn't do that, where is it? And stuff like
feeling
that.
something extraordinary.
Yes.
Yes.
Right. They say, okay, yeah. Oh no, you had this experience in 1982. You need to have that same experience again. That's not it. You see, it's a mind, you know. And so, but what's beautiful about awareness is that it doesn't matter what the mind does. It's the screen of is borderless. It's always ever present, like we said before. Where do you go for awareness? Nowhere. It's right. It's right there. See, so the screen doesn't care what arises on it. But you could even pursue it, but I would say don't pursue the images, because you've done it before 1,000, 20,000, 30,000 times, and it's you always come back to, oh my God, what a trip, you know. Why did I believe that? So don't believe that you are a person. Don't believe that you are a man or a woman or that you're born. Don't believe this. These are all images on the screen. The screen has no form, no shape, and yet it is the reality of everything. It is the one reality. It is the only reality. So it's a process of this dissolution, of loosening the contractions in the space, loosening the grip, loosening the structures. There's a lot of space for this loosening. There's ample space. Your consciousness is infinite for the loosening of these structures at the body level, at the mind level, is to release and in a way, up to a certain point, you can trust this release, and at some point you won't need to trust anymore, because it will validate that you are doing the right thing. It will reveal to you its beauty and its glory and its magnificence.
And that's happiness.
The happiness, causeless happiness, yes.
That's interesting, because you say your love for truth is what we're doing, but a lot also the suffering and the knowing that there's no answer in the mind is also driving me towards the truth.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
Absolutely. So more. It's not. I guess it's like moving away from it.
You just said something kind of interesting to me. You said the suffering through the mind. So it's your mind that's making you suffer.
Absolutely.
But you keep suffering. So it's like a cycle.
Well, you know, the suffering is a sort of a message, you know, from consciousness that you are heading the wrong way. So, you know, your concerns, your worries, all of these sufferings, you know, your anxiety, and it all records in your body. And all of these are signals, basically, that you are feeding the wrong beast. And we're very stubborn, you know. We take the suffering, and some people even say, or some teachers that say, well, I mean, that's just, there are some people who say that, oh, suffering is part of, you know, it's part of the package. You know, consciousness is not only about happiness, but it includes suffering. So we're very stubborn, you see, at the mind level. The mind is very stubborn. It says, oh, no, I'm not, you know, it's there. I've got to suffer, and so you will suffer some more. You see, it's not a problem, because consciousness isn't taking you to be real. It's not, you know. You say, oh my God, why is all this happening to me? All these awful things. But consciousness doesn't take you to be real. It's actually at your service. The service is always inviting you to her, inviting you to your true nature. And if you want to suffer, then that's available, you see. So a lot of people want to suffer. Maybe most of us, we've been there, you know, done that. Some of us are still doing that. Hopefully not. Please don't. You don't need to suffer. Yeah, so suffering is a kindness, is a very loving service that consciousness provides us. I just want to say something about suffering and what the mind refers to as suffering is something really awful happening to me, right? Something awful happening to me, or happening in my space to the world. But suffering is more, as like a personal, the person suffers, you see. The person suffers. So there is a thought that something is happening to me, something bad is happening to me. Because in the absence of a thought of something bad happening to me, if the complete absence of this thought that nothing bad is happening to me, is just a pure experience. The house is burning or whatever, or I lost my leg. You know, nothing is happening to me. Nothing bad is happening. In the absence of that thought, there is just a perception and a sensation. Why not, right? I mean, yes,
sure.
There is a perception and a sensation, right? Then there is a thought that comes and says, something bad is happening to me. Now the body-mind has built-in mechanisms to maintain its functioning of the system up to a certain point. At some point it gives up. The heart shuts down, the brain shuts down, whatever. Some organs shut down. Is basically the body saying, okay, you know, next. Okay. But until that, the body does what it does. There is an intelligence in the body to keep functioning. When there is danger, the blood contracts from the extremities, you know, so that in case you're wounded, you don't bleed, etc. Right? Mm-hmm. You know, when there is some decision to be made that matters really importantly for the body will know. Flee, it will flee, or hide, or be quiet. It can stop breathing because it's imminent. But that's not a me. That's just That's what tigers, lions, whatever. I mean, this is a system. It's not a me. No, the me is something else. The me is this belief that I am this body mind, and that so therefore something is happening to me requires thought. Requires thought and memory. And memory. Say memory. I remember what she did to me, what he did to me, and you know the
Right, the stories we tell.
yes.
Yeah.
So suffering is a thought impression. And that has a me, a me, you know, and me and others, me and the world, and also all sorts of stories about me, how life is unjust. You know, there has to be all sorts of beliefs that, about society, about culture, about the government, about my family, about my boss, about whatever, about money, about everything. Beliefs, thoughts, you know. And so there's a whole structure of thoughts and beliefs that contribute to this suffering impression, you say. And the body is very simpatico. It says, oh, okay, you know, it's time to suffer. Good, let's do it. So the body will play the game. You know, you're fine here, all is fine, you've eaten well, you've drank well, suddenly you start getting a grip in your belly and heartburn and angst because you're thinking about your grandfather who gave the will to your sister and nothing to you, for example, you know. You know, and and you start going pale, and you have to have a glass of wine to calm down. You see?
Mm-hmm.
But all along, all was fine a few minutes ago, before that system got downloaded, you know, as thoughts and memories and belief systems and unjust, you know, why was I treated so unjust, you see? And then we believe it and we carry it. It becomes part of our storyline that's available to us for our next suffering phase, you see. But so suffering is an impression. It's a thought impression. It's a mind impression that is connected to the sense of me. But in your experience, and you can experience it right now, there is really no me. It's just pure presence, pure awareness, let's say, taking on this form or no form. It's really a formless quality that the mind then comes on board and says, form, no problem. I have no problem with form. Colors, we say that's green and that's white, whatever. It's language, thought and language, and it can be very amusing and fun, playful. It can be, yes,
Sure.
Absolutely. When the separate self isn't on board, yeah, you cook a nice meal, go for a walk, you read a book, you go to work, you got a promotion, great, you got a demotion, great, everything is great, you know, great. All is great because you're untouched, you see. Because your consciousness itself, and consciousness is wholeness, is love. It takes care of everything. It's going to take care of this body as long as it feels like. Who cares? Who cares?
Not attached to.
Yeah, absolutely. You see,
it's not attached to the story.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This attachment, it's a mystery. If you try to write a a paragraph about attachment, you will start somewhere in there. You will have this person. Right. Go home tonight or tomorrow. Write 3 sentences about attachment. You're gonna have to talk about me.
Of course.
Otherwise, you'll be saying attachment is just a mind impression. It's nonsense.
Right. That's right. In order to be attached, you have to have a me.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
A me and something to attach to. Something to attach to, which already has an assumption of incompleteness. That you're lacking something.
That's right.
The me quality is about lack. Lacking and pursuing.
Telling me.
Yes. So we don't need to feed that beast. That's good enough. We've done it enough. That's why we have a choice, moment by moment, to maintain the me impression or not. When you don't maintain the me impression, all is done. Really, you don't need to take care of awareness. You don't need to do awareness. You don't need to find awareness or to seek awareness or to find enlightenment, to find awakening, or none of that. Just moment by moment, don't feed this impression that, oh, I am this body-mind, that I am going to die. To release it, do your own contemplation at the mind level and at the body level, at the feeling level. The space of awareness is available for that sort of releasing.